This video is probably like super overdue, considering this happened over a week ago at this point. And this run itself even is kind of old. This is the second time I hit 1700. I'm not using the first time just because that was like a 6-minute FF, and so it's not a run, right? But this run's pretty good, so we're gonna use this one. But yeah, I've been putting off making this for a while because of a lot of reasons. Anyway, so yeah, I hit 1700 4 times now at this point. I've made it here 4 times, and every time I've fallen straight back down, but I've managed to get back up within the session still, so that's good. It's nice to know that I can kind of hover around the area a bit, even if the furthest in I've gotten is just a single game. My peak elo is 1733. My goal this season is 1800, and I think it's doable. I think I can get to 1800, but I've just not been having a great time queuing lately. I guess the point of this is just like kind of express my thoughts with my improvement in the game in general, because like it feels like it's kind of in this weird limbo state where some days I feel like I've improved a lot and I'm playing much better than I did before, and then the next day I'll be playing terribly and I'll feel like I haven't made a single good improvement in like 4 months, which I think is not really fair. Like, I think I definitely just have gotten better. I just am incredibly inconsistent with how I play the game, with decision making, with mechanics, and just like general speed. Like, some days I play really well, and then the next day I could play very poorly and get outpaced on every single match. And it's like kind of evident even somewhat in this match. The person who I don't know at the time who I'm playing because I have opponent off, but the person I'm playing in this match, I usually outpace pretty significantly. But the last time I queued 2 days ago, I got outpaced by this person because I was having a bad day. I still won the match because they messed up the 0, but they did just fully raw beat me on pace on that match. So it's just like I just have bad days. Like, I'm just a relatively inconsistent player, but in a different sense to other people. Like Mac, for example, is inconsistent in the manner of where she is always fast, but she dies a lot. I don't usually die. I just am slow because sometimes my decision making or my mechanics aren't just not there. That, and I think a big issue with my gameplay that I've noticed recently is hesitation. For example, if you watch me loot any chest, you'll notice I sit there and just look at the contents for about 2 seconds. Like, that's pretty extreme. Like, probably a second or so before I do anything, when I could just immediately be looting the chest and save a full second there alone. And that kind of shows itself in a lot of places. I hesitate everywhere throughout the run. And it adds up over time. As of currently, I've been taking a bit of a break from ranked. I haven't queued in a couple days since I got back to 1700 for the 4th time. There's a nice little piglin here. Instead, I've been mostly playing 115 because I found it to be rather refreshing to play for a different general strategy. And it also, I think, can be helpful in the long run with decision making, because 115 is probably the most decision based version split around. Obviously, there's no bastions, so the main method you use is you trade with villagers to get pearls using monument gold. And there's just a lot of decisions just based on like the direction you push for stronghold ring, how you route a village, because you have to route a village, and just stuff like that, and like crossing an optimal line for shipwreck quadrants is a big one. But yeah, there's a lot of decision making in 115, and I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I'm not really sure what else to yap about. That was kind of all I had, and we're in the Bastion still. So I guess I'll just talk about the run itself. This is against 12 brain cells. Obviously, again, I don't know that at the time. And this is like one of the faster runs I've had. I have like 20 sub 10s in private rooms, and I have like, I think 2 in queue. I don't understand why I just can't do it despite having like multiple mid 8 strongholds, if not faster. But this is like a high 10. It's like, it's nothing amazing, but it's good enough that I decided I could use it for this this video. It like a few better decisions, and it probably could have been sub 10. Like, for example, I didn't go to the correct ravine in the overworld. That was a big one. Other than that, I think I played it like fine, I guess. Originally, actually, I was going to make this about getting to 1650 because that's where Diamond 2 starts, but then I just kept going and got to 1700, so that's what this is about now. And actually, both 1700 and 1650, I had actually been to multiple times, because my first time getting 1650 was a 530 forfeit. You know, similar story to 1700. But then I got like a pretty decent, I think it was a 1018, also against 12 brain cells, into Diamond 2 the second time after I fell out, and that was what I was originally going to use for this. And then I got 1700 off a 630 forfeit, so I was still going to use that. And then I got, this is the second time I got there, I got this, I think this is a 1042. And so that's what I'm using now. I've fallen out and gotten back into 1700 2 times after this run. Neither of the times were particularly impressive. They were, I think, both 12xx, which is still below my average, but not good enough for me to want to upload. I actually got 100% on this. I've been having this weird issue lately where most of the time my first eye gets me nowhere near 100%. I don't know why it started happening, but it's just been happening the past like week or two. And it's really annoying. I've checked all my settings and they all seem fine. So I just don't know what the issue is. Yeah, no, we're on the way to Chords here. It's nice wide open terrain, nothing crazy. I don't have a timer because I found myself worrying too much about pace, and I decided it would be better if I just don't know the pace at all. Because like I'd be finding myself getting bummed out about like a 6-minute fort. I'd be like, oh, this is just so slow. But if I had to guess, it's probably around 9 minutes right now. Maybe high 8, maybe sub 10 pace if I can hit the instant nav. Not really sure. Well, I do hit the instant nav, so I was probably a little off. It was probably closer to like mid 9 in that case. Hesitate a little bit on this eye fill, and it is an overhang 0, almost buried, but not quite. But it's a tough zero. It's front cage. No, it's not a very hard zero, so I should just be able to get to 95 easily and hit this. And I don't actually have arrows, so I do have to Yahi zero a little bit here, but it's all good. Almost hit the 5 bed. The dragon has like 2 health left, and I have to hit my last anchor. But we get it done. It was 1242. Puts me back in 1700. I guess there's not much else other than that. I guess I can maybe put my reaction to getting 1650 and 1700 the first time at the end of this. And that, yeah, that's it.